Okay, so welcome back to Dental Science Club for the spring 2021 semester. We're so excited to be seeing everybody. In case anybody is new, just a kind of a recap of what we do, who we are. We're a group of pre-dental students here at Pitt working together to help each other achieve our common goal of becoming dentists. A typical semester, we typically have guest speakers and group discussions about things like the DAT, shadowing and volunteering, mentors and mentees. So if you were a part of that last semester, go ahead and check in with your mentors, mentees, see how the semester's going so far. We talk about scholarships and financial aid, undergrad courses, and just generally preparing to apply and eventually go to dental school. And I believe Ankito was going to tell us about some classes to help our science GPAs.
Yeah, so I received this question in our Google form for like questions and comments, and I think this is like really helpful just in general. You all know how it is. Like you need a certain science GPA for a lot of dental schools, or like they call it like a benchmark, but it can be difficult with just the prereqs. So sometimes you have like space for electives. I know in the bio major you can choose what classes to take, and I'm personally a natural sciences major in like the College of General Studies, so I had a lot of gen eds to fill, and these are some classes that can like double as those and also count towards your BCPM GPA. So that is another like metric that dental schools look at, and it's called biochemistry, physics, and math. And so each dental school has their own way of kind of measuring this. Like, for instance, brain and behavior and drugs and behavior are two neuro courses that are like for non-neuro majors. So they're really easy, like intro classes. And I really liked my teacher, and it was like pretty easy to get an A as long as you did the work compared to like the workload of our harder science classes. And at Pitt Dental, they said neuro courses, like all neuro count as biology, I believe. And another one that the e-board suggested was ecology. That is also part of like the bio major, but if not, you could take it to boost your GPA. And then this is something I did that you don't need to do, but kind of a loophole is that like a lot of us need to take stats for bio majors or other majors. And I did have AP credit, but my advisor told me like if I really wanted to boost my GPA, I could just, the only thing is like you would pay for that credit and like take it again. So you like take the 4-credit class here at Pitt, and that counts in your math GPA. And they advise against calc because, as you know, like it's one of the hardest classes, like Calc 1 and 2, but Stats 1000 was super easy, like straightforward. And yeah, like you will easily get an A. And there's also a lot of online classes for that. Well, back when it was the difference between online and in person. But like it's like the online asynchronous ones that you can just do on your own with like modules, and it was still easy to follow. The last one is Intro to Psych. Some dental schools do count this towards your science GPA, but as far as I know, like a couple of years ago at Pitt, they told me it didn't count as any of the BCPM, so I did not take that. But at other schools might.
Oh, sorry, to add in there, another thing that I did over the summer is I took calc over the summer at a different school. So I think I took it at like Penn State Harrisburg or something like that. And that class was like significantly easier than it was here at Pitt. And it was during the summer when I wasn't really doing much other than like shadowing or something like that. So I just wanted to add that in there before I forget.
Yeah, I actually did the same exact thing. I took it at YSU, and it was way, 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 way easier than Pitt's because I started calc at Pitt for like a week, and then I was like, I don't think I can do this. Like, it wasn't worth it. And then I just did it at YSU in the summer after my freshman year, and it was so easy, like such an easy A. So I would recommend that.
Also, with the psych courses, there's a lot of them that are specifically geared towards like health careers. Like I'm pretty sure there's a health psychology class, and there's a lot of them that overlap with neuro courses as well, except they're super easy. So a lot of schools do accept psych credit. So if you're able to, then you could definitely find courses that overlap with your major and also like would help towards dentistry.
Also, to add on to that, I mean, I don't know the answer to this, but do you guys think that UTAing for a science course could maybe boost your GPA?
UTAing does not earn you a letter grade. I found that out last semester. I got an S for satisfactory.
Oh dang. Okay.
Well, actually, I was.
And
Oh, sorry.
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I was a TA for a neuro course, and they do give letter grades. So I got 2 credits of
I
an A.
think the department gives you letter grades depending on the professor. Bio department also sometimes gives you a letter grades. It depends on the professor and also how many credits you're TAing for. So I would ask before you decide to do that.
I TA'd
also-
for, oh, sorry, you
Oh,
can
no,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. You're okay.
I TA'd for Pete Bell last spring, and I'm also TAing for him again this spring, and I definitely got a letter grade and 2 credits for doing that. So
Oh, sweet, sweet.
And another thing, depending on the research that you do, I did some stuff that was like dental related research through the neuroscience department, and it counted as a 1 credit A. So it depends on what research you find, and if you can get a grade for it. You do have to do some work, so it's not like super easy, but like it just kind of is dependent on the research that you do. So that might be another option to boost your GPA.
So then up next, we were going to talk to you guys a little bit about the merch that we are purchasing for dues paying members this year. I believe that Vincent is our man that knows a good bit about them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So our plan as of now is that once we get the shirts, we're gonna try and hand them out like contactlessly on campus, and then for anybody who's not on campus, we're gonna try and send them out in the mail, along with the Joe Chem stickers and the Twice toothpaste samples. I guess we still got to figure out how exactly how many people are gonna need them shipped out. We'll probably send out a. Oh, what were you saying, Emma?
I did include just to get like, this isn't anything ironclad, like we don't need addresses or anything, but just to get like an idea, I'm going to send out a poll in the Zoom just to see like roundabout how many people are here and how many people would need it shipped. And then I believe, did we send a poll out in the email for the design? I feel like that's something I remember.
Yeah, so we did that, and I still haven't like tallied anything, so I can't tell you which one is in the lead. I kind of was just leaving it out there in case people,
But-
opened up their email late, but I think I was going to tell you that. like,
Actually,
end of-
oh sorry, were you saying something, Carmen?
Oh no, go ahead. You're good.
Oh yeah, I actually took a look at it last night, and I think that the one where the logo is on like the pocket side is probably the winner.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Sounds good. If you have not voted and would like to, there's still time. If you like the logo on the pocket, that rocks.
Cool.
These are, so this is the logo on the pocket option. And
Yep,
then,
and it seems that like 19% of you guys might need them shipped off campus. So I guess we'll send out an email later on to figure that out and get like addresses and everything. Yeah, so more info to come.
so then another big thing that's going to be coming up is elections for next year's e-board. So what does the e-board do? Just for anybody that was maybe considering running. We are BFFs, obviously, but our official role is that we meet bi-weekly to plan meetings and engagement opportunities for members. The positions that are open are vice president, social media manager, outreach chair, business manager, and secretary, because as is written in our constitution, the vice president does roll into the presidency the following year. So anybody can run for any position with the exception of vice president. It would need to be an incoming junior who would want to be president in their senior year. So if you are a sophomore now, you would want to run for vice president to be vice president your junior year, to be president your senior year. But each of these positions do have different responsibilities, although we do kind of share certain things with planning meetings, planning activities, things like that. Does our current e-board kind of want to talk a little bit about their positions? What you do on a day-to-day, week-to-week with Dental Science Club?
Sure. So I'm the vice president, so I will be the president next year. Most of what I do, I think that I've pretty much, and this can be said for every position, we really do help each other out. We have our individual like strong points, but I think that, if someone knows about this opportunity, to shadow. If Ankita knows an opportunity to shadow, Nikki's not going to be like, whoa, Ankita, that is my job, back up. We're all helping each other out. But anyway, yeah, I've helped just organize the presentations, kind of reached out here and there, talked to the dental school, coordinated things, talked to other clubs and coordinated things. I put together our Slack, which we'll talk about later with like the committees and stuff. So it really is kind of all over the board. It's really just being there to help out your other e-board members.
Yeah, so as a social media manager, I mostly like make the stuff you see on Facebook and Instagram just to put out announcements about like different things that are going on, including our meetings, and now that like the whole world is online, just any opportunities I find and spread them out to you guys. And try to like engage people, basically like answer questions and get people to know each other. But yeah, we all do really like just we talk on our like group chat and share like all these different ideas, like bringing speakers and things like that. If someone has something to post, like we do a lot of like cross work, like I don't know what the word is. We all just do everything kind of.
So for outreach chair, a lot of the stuff is in person normally. So we haven't been able to do that this semester. So I've been working more on finding online opportunities for shadowing and volunteering. So like I helped make that Google Doc of like all of the different online shadowing opportunities and the different for volunteer opportunities, I think, with the senior citizen homes. And then also this semester, we're trying to reach out with other clubs as well, like Operation Smile, whose meeting is on Friday, and also with GDB. So we're just trying to do a lot of things online since we're not able to really go out in person and do things.
So for business manager, probably the biggest task of the year is like collecting dues and depositing them in the Office of Student Records. And throughout the year, just maintaining contact with them, making sure that everything's running smoothly and that they're able to deposit everything. And also anytime that money goes in or out of the account, you have to take tabs on that and make sure that payment is going the places it needs to be pretty much. So like anytime you want to order pizza, shirts, anything like that.
And then as secretary, I've kind of handled all the emails. And like you've heard everybody else kind of say, we kind of act as like a family. So we all have good ideas. Everybody has something that they can contribute to the club. So it's really important that we kind of all, we just work together and help each other through different problems. So another thing that I've done a lot of, thank you whoever wrote that little note there under my position. I appreciate that. A lot of the stuff that I've done since we have gone totally virtual is kind of set the framework for some things like a website. So it's been kind of tough. It takes a lot of time to just edit and maintain and work, contact with people who are hosting the servers and things like that. So one thing that we are looking for is someone who's interested in technology or who would be interested in helping, design a website, who is good with email software, maybe can code even. So that's something that we're interested in. So is there another slide here?
There is, yes. Before
Awesome.
there's just one quick thing to go over, that for elections, positions are open to active and dues paying members in the club. So to be on the executive board, it is important to be engaged in the club. And actually, as written in our constitution, attending meetings, going to events, things like that is kind of an important part of running for the e-board. I wasn't in the club at this time, but a few years ago, some of the previous board members told me that they actually had removed somebody from a position because they didn't come to anything. But as long as you're trying to be active and engaged, you're fine to run. But it just says in our constitution, and I felt obligated to say at the meeting, that positions are open to dues paying and active members in the organization. All right, and Carmen, it's your time to shine.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. So especially what we've kind of been reiterating is that we've been totally dumped into just a completely virtual interaction. And the one thing that I wanted to do is kind of set up the framework for, you know, a website is something that we kind of need to store resources on. We're trying to put a blog up there. So if anybody has questions, you know, I know a lot of the time you guys are busy and it's hard to reach out. Having a blog would be a good place to have discussions and maybe talk about professors or classes or something like that. We're looking for somebody who might want to help develop a website. You don't need any prior experience. This is something that if you're just interested in it, we'd love to have your help and your input. And then lastly, on their email automation. So the one thing that I've been trying to put together is some workflow automation for our emails and stuff. And that is basically to help us save time, you know, sending out emails that might have to do with merge, or sending out an email after every meeting that sends out, you know, meeting minutes or automatically sends out a PowerPoint would save somebody who might be in a secretary position a lot of time. So they might not have to worry about that. And then they can focus their time on something other than, you know, typing stuff up and things like that. So that's the main goal. We'd really love somebody to help us out with that and kind of push that into the next stages of where it needs to be.
All right, so something new that we did start this year, actually that is just being started now, is having committees for service, networking, social events, social media and technology, and academics. This is a way for people who might not want to take on the responsibility and time commitment of a board position to be able to get more involved. And it's a way that we are able to kind of come together more as a club and bring in everybody's kind of unique ideas, come together and talk about them, present them to the club as a whole, and hopefully make this more representative for everybody and what people might want or need from the club. I'm actually going to go ahead and make breakout rooms. Oh, Ankita has shared the Slack link. So this is kind of how we're going to be conducting committee business, is through Slack. I'll let you guys talk about that because I'm not super well versed in Slack.
I am also not super well versed in Slack, but we're going to try it. So I've used Slack a lot. I just haven't set anything up on my own. Anyway, made the Slack page. That's awesome. Whoever put Scan Me in there, that's really fun. And
I just tried it and it makes you log into your like workspace URL or something. So I sent one in the chat that should work. It's directly from the thing. Let me know if neither of them work. We'll figure it.
No, please do. Because I mean, otherwise, like if worst comes to worst, everyone can just send me their email and I'll just add everyone who's like active into it. Because I mean, in reality, like it doesn't matter who's a part of the Slack, but it would be nice if we're like the more active members, obviously, so that we're not spamming everyone at all times. But anyway, yeah, go ahead and give that a shot. And then once you get into the Slack, I'm just going to describe it roughly from what I see anyway. So I made a couple of channels that just included like the general channel. So that's what you would find, like the link for the meeting or just like any general information about like what we are doing. There is a classes channel. Oh, is it making me hide the URL? Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, we'll figure it out in just a second. I'm just gonna keep talking about it. Then there's like one for classes. There's one for just like fun, which is just like, you know, do whatever. And then there's like resources. So essentially it's just a way to like compartmentalize our conversation so that we can just be more like effective in communicating, whether that be like information about the meeting or other opportunities. This will also work really well with our new committee model so that everyone can have like their own committee chat and we can communicate that way. That way, you know, in the general body chat, we're not having 8 million conversations at once. So that's the whole Slack thing. Let's see if, oh, Eva, yes. Okay, Eva has proven to me that it is possible to join the Slack. Let's see. So I'm gonna ask, actually, Eva, can you see the channels that I was talking about, like the general resources, fun? Yes? Okay, sweet.
It's all there.
All right, so you guys are gonna need a bunch of like ticks during your, it's gonna like make that nice little pop-up sound. So we're just gonna get spammed with it for a little bit.
Oh yeah. Good.
And I'm just setting up the breakout rooms now. Bear with me. It's going to get done quicker and better than the last time. I know how to do it now. It's going to work.
Perfect.
And
So
if any of you guys have questions about this Slack stuff, please let us know. I know it might be new to a lot of people. And maybe it's, sometimes it can get confusing. So please reach out to us if you have any questions about, how to use it, or if you have any like technical difficulties or anything like that.
for sure. And even if we don't know, we'll help you figure it out. So once Emma sets up the breakout rooms, essentially what will happen is like each e-board member has their own respective committee. It may or may not have something to do with like the actual position that they hold as e-board, but we figured it would be easier to facilitate it this way. That way, when we get together for our e-board meetings, there's a voice for every committee at the meeting at all times. So that being said, we'll go into our breakout rooms with everybody in each committee and the committee head, and then make sure that you guys all get into the appropriate Slack channel. I think that's the plan. Can you guys see the committees, the channels? I know that the e-board can, but can anybody else? Yes.
You have to click join channel, but like you can see it.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. So yeah, in that case, you would only join the committee that you are involved in, I think for like your own sake, just because you don't want to be spammed with messages from every single thing all the time, especially if you're not like directly involved. And a little bit more on the whole committee thing. I think our plan is to, have individual conversation within the Slack, but then also starting at our meetings in our respective committees. That way we can just kind of share ideas, and then we can come back together and report to the club as a whole. Again, that's just to like get everyone more engaged. That's to make everyone feel, I guess, just more connected with the club, especially since we're not together, and you can't walk up to somebody and have a specific discussion about like one thing all the time, because you're logging off the Zoom and then it's over. So this will be a good way for us to be more closely connected and hopefully learn more and all that good stuff.
And you guys are also all incredibly smart and have really good ideas that you can also use to improve the club. And one of the big reasons that we did this is we want to hear from you guys, and taking your feedback. And we really, could use your help on a lot of this stuff, and implement a lot of your ideas too as well.
So is this Slack replacing our GroupMe? Should we all just move over there?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna say that to like the other people that aren't here.
Yes.
Okay. And I didn't realize we do have one more slide about the committees in case, gotta go back one. Holy moly. Okay. So we do have one more slide about the committees, just kind of describing what they all are. This was sent out with the email whenever we sent out the poll if you want to sign up or anything like that. But this is just kind of refreshing that information. And